Welcome back, my friends, to another Ultimate General Civil War video. We're, of course, playing with our glorious Confederate Corps, and for once, we actually have enough brigades to go ahead and attack Harper's Ferry. Now, this is going to be an assault, and as we all know, every time we tend to do assaults, we tend to lose more than a few men. So let's hope that these guys can actually push through, and defeat the federal oppressors. By the way, I just wanted to let you guys know that doing this campaign, I have never gotten so much hate mail, despite the fact that we've gotten a tremendous amount of subscribers doing it. People seem to think that I'm a supporter of slavery, that I'm a supporter of all sorts of things. I mean, guys, I think you guys know, and I'd love you to put this in the comments down below, that I am not a supporter of slavery. I'm not even really a supporter of the North or the South. This was a different time in history, and most of my videos focus on trying to have a fun time playing these games, playing these wars without any actual lives being lost. So I just wanted you guys to keep in mind the risks that I sometimes take doing these videos, and I hope you respect that. Well, without further ado, let's seize Harper's Ferry from the Federals, hopefully. Here we go. Alright, we've been ordered to advance, seize Harper's Ferry, and capture the Federal Weapons Factory, guys. And obviously, you could probably imagine that capturing this factory would be absolutely extremely important to our war effort. Now, it looks like the Guard of Harper's Ferry has left the town and capture those heights to halt our advance, capture the heights, and clear the way to Harper's Ferry. Seems to be pretty straightforward to me. We've got a nice little army here, a bunch of brigades ready to go ahead and fight. A lot of veterans here, but of course, a lot of recruits as well. And there's our great friend Jack Dalton, prepared to advance. And I think I want to go ahead and advance, but it doesn't really look like there's any good way. We could take these woods to the right, but then we have to cross this waterway. We're going to take a lot of hits there, and I'm thinking that this is going to have to be a sort of frontal assault. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and set it up like a frontal assault. We're probably going to send a few of our brigades over here through the woods to hit the enemy over here from the right flank, but I'm not 100% sure that that idea or that plan is going to work out. But just look at all those rebels moving into position. They want to die and fight for the South. And, well, what can we do? They've got to go ahead and complete their mission. So we are going to be attacking these guys head on. Armistead is going forward. I really don't want to lose Armistead, and I'm actually thinking of getting him out of this brigade after this battle, because despite the fact that he's got these awesome Whitworth TS-45s with a scope, you know, he definitely is putting himself in a lot of danger going over here. So I'm going to be sending Armistead immediately over here to the woods, hoping that we can give him a slight advantage on the attack of the Federals. But this is definitely a battle where we need to move quickly, and we need to move stealthily if possible. But with this large force, moving stealthily is not going to be an easy chore at all. So there we go, guys. We're sending Armistead forward. Ransom over here is going all the way over here, and I think Ransom, Dilger, and well, just Ransom and Dilger can go ahead and take the fight over here to the woods, whereas the rest of our guys are going to be doing a frontal assault. Sorry, Pickett. It's not like you're not new to frontal assaults. You are a big fan of frontal assaults, and I think you're going to be able to hopefully pull yourself together. Now, I want to get Carlin and the rest of these cannons, these artillery pieces over there close to the front of the battle as well. So we're going to be sending them right up there to hopefully do some serious damage to the Federals. But also, we don't want them to get shot down. In the last part of the battle, a lot of these guys got shot down, and that's no help to anybody. I'm also going to take our cavalry field, and I'm going to send them over here to Dilger and Ransom and hope that they can really help stop these troops. So there, look at that. We already know that we see some Federals up there on the woods or on the top of the hills, and look at this large hill. I mean, getting up that hill is going to be a bloodbath for our men no matter what we do. So I'm thinking the best thing we can do is try to probe the enemy and, more importantly, attack them from that flank, do some damage, cause some chaos and havoc, and then move forward with the frontal assault. This might be one of the few battles where we actually do have to charge the enemy to take the heights. But once we take those heights, I hope that that's all we have to do. I don't want Lilly going all the way out there, and I don't want Kemper going all the way out there either. So I'm putting Jack Dalton over here to help these boys, and I'm going to move Carlin a little way up here, and Cable a little way up here. We're already taking some pretty nasty artillery shots. It's only a round shot now, but round shot's definitely enough to cause some havoc. And what I'm going to try to do is get behind the enemy artillery over here, guys. Hopefully they don't have too many men guarding this position, and hopefully we can go ahead and get behind the enemy lines with our cavalry and our skirmishers and just snipe the hell out of any of the enemy artillery so that when we're coming up this hill, The only thing they have to stop us are some pretty heavy brigades, and these are heavy brigades without a doubt. But look at that. We've already got the 1st Maryland approaching cavalry brigade. I'm going to try to engage the 1st Maryland with field because I don't need Armistead getting chopped up into little bits here during this battle. Look at that. That is a really nice line of defense. I'd love to be controlling that line of defense myself. I think the only mistake that the enemy is going to be making here is the fact that they are pretty much out in open ground, but we're going to be in open ground ourselves during this attack. So there we go. We did manage to send one of the Maryland men running. We're going to have Armistead continue firing, and I'm going to send Field behind the enemy. So I'm going to try to get Field behind here, but he's taking some pretty nasty shots. There he goes, firing those pistols. They actually might be carbines. I keep saying pistols, but not all cavalry units had pistols. A lot of them did have carbines. I mean, it's just sort of par for the course. But at least now, look at that. We've got Cable and Carlin firing away at this position. It is a round shot, but I'm hoping it's enough to soften up one of these areas, specifically Ward's areas, so that when we move forward with Jack Dalton and his men, it's not going to be so hard to break through. So there we go. Field is continuing, although it looks like he's going to be pushed back here. Some nasty shots from enemy skirmisher units. We might even need to get Armistead to go ahead and focus on the enemy skirmishers over here. He's definitely got range on them, and that's one benefit of this current situation. So here we go, Dilger. I definitely need you to start firing on the enemy. We're going to get Dilger over here. We're going to get Ransom. He's already firing over at the skirmishers, but I actually would prefer that he focus on this part of the enemy. And now we are going to start... Actually, let's keep moving over here with Alabac. The hell am I talking about? I think there's no reason why we shouldn't be using those woods to our advantage, especially since the enemy seems to have pretty much ignored them. Let's go ahead and fire at Utasi. Never heard of this general before. Might just be a colonel. But we're going to try to put the hurt on him. Take his, I guess, his attention away from our men. And Armistead is over here with his scoped rifles, making sure that the enemy skirmishers aren't firing into our flanks. So I'm going to go ahead and move Armistead forward. Keep firing at those skirmishers, while the rest of our boys, Ransom, etc., also assist. I think Utasi's taking some nasty hits here, but if we can't get behind the enemy, I don't see this working out all too well. Let's get Field back up here. His morale is not perfect, but I hope it's enough to maybe hit some of these skirmisher units. Who knows? We've also got Alabac here. I'm going to have Alabac not in the greatest cover, to be honest with you, but I'm going to have him start firing at Utasi as well. And now we can also probably begin our advance over there on the enemy right flank. Let's go for it. We're going to be out in the open. Let's be honest. It's never good to be out in the open, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to win the battle. And the fact is, this does seem like a gentleman's fight. Even though they've got an uphill advantage, they're out in the open, so are we, and that leads me to believe that it's going to be a tough fight for either one of us. So there we go. Armistead still giving hell to the skirmishers. Those scoped rifles are an absolute nightmare, and I think Field could even get some shots on these skirmishers. We've definitely forced some of the enemy artillery back, and that, I think, in my mind at least, is a definite bonus. So let's go ahead. We're going to charge with Field, try to smash through the skirmishers here. Armistead, I just want him to keep firing at these guys out in the open, while Field deals with these guys. Just imagine if we could rout all those skirmishers with just one cavalry unit. That would be an unbelievable victory. I don't like the fact, though, that Armistead is focusing too much on these guys. We don't need him doing that. But look at that. We got the 1st Maryland boys. They're over here, which, of course, is the enemy cavalry. And I'm already going to have Pickett fire at the flanks over here of these guys. We're sort of making them think that we're doing a frontal attack over here with Kemper, but it looks like Kemper and Morin are going to be the sacrificial lambs of this attack. Make sure that Jack Dalton is up there close and personal, and hell, we could even get Caleb and Carlin a little bit closer here so that we can start firing shell shot at the enemy. Let's move Lilly forward. What is Stark doing? Where the hell is Stark, as a matter of fact? Did he disappear? We've got Lilly here, but I don't see Stark. I guess he's all the way up here. A little strange what's happening there. But we are getting our boys closer so that we can start firing some serious shots at the enemy. No, Jack, stay back. Oh, Jack is out. Now, that is not good. He's not dead, but obviously he's not going to be part of the battle, and that's going to be pretty serious disadvantage to our troops. So we want to get that shell shot firing, that maybe even canister shot at this distance. And if we can, I think we can lay waste to the enemy here pretty damn quickly. It's a shame we don't have another unit to assist, but it does look like the Maryland boys have managed to send field back. I'm going to go ahead and charge again. If they want to fight, we'll give it to them. Oh, nasty shot by the carbines is sending them reeling. So let's get Armistead here, move him into the woods, and start hitting the enemy flank. And it looks like that's shell shot. Pretty effective shell shot, though, I must say. And if we can keep this up, we might be able to make Utasi run. And who knows, maybe we can even go ahead and charge the enemy. Cause some pretty serious damage here. So we're going to go ahead. We're sending Pickett forward. Lilly is, of course, firing on Trimble. Kemper is about to break, without a doubt. I'm thinking Alabac, Dilger, and Ransom might be able to make some pretty serious changes here. For whatever reason, Stark's brigade is in a very strange position here. And I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to charge, guys. That's it. We're going to charge with Alabac. We're going to charge with Ward, Dilger. This is truly going to be a Confederate charge. You can hear that rebel yell if you listen close enough. And if we could just crush this part of the Federal Army, well, we're in good shape. And there we go, Pickett's charge. This time, of course, in a completely different battle. Colonel Charles Stark is killed, unfortunately, but he sure did a good job at moving the enemy back. And after all, he is just a colonel. We do need some sacrifices. What's that saying? The tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants and patriots. And in this case, playing the South, of course, we believe ourselves to be the patriots, but I'm sure the Federals feel exactly the same way. And once again, like that thing I told you in the beginning of the video, I don't support either side 100%. I think that both sides had their own reasons for fighting, and surely the South had a lot of reasons involving slavery for continuing the fight, which I don't in the least bit support, and probably one of the reasons why I identify a lot more with the Federals. So here we go. We are moving forward, charging this area and trying to take out the enemy cannons. If we could waste that artillery, I think we're one step closer to claiming victory over here. Let's move Lilly over here. Our boys are doing an unbelievable job here at capturing the heights. And if only they can continue their assault, well, who knows what could happen. But right now, it looks like the Union line is crumbling, and crumbling pretty damn fast. And Armistead is still continuing to fire some excellent shots here at Utasi. Look at that, guys. Absolutely amazing. Looks like we have taken this position with Dilger, despite the fact that he lost they lost their commander. But what can we do about Ward and the rest of these guys? Well, first things first, we're going to engage them, and we're also going to start moving forward with Kemper. Now that the enemy's got their sights elsewhere, it really gives us an opportunity to exploit this territory. In fact, I'm going to be moving Cable up and the rest of these guys. Unfortunately, our good friend Jack Dalton, who apparently is me in this battle, did get hit pretty hard, but we're still managing to hold this position. And obviously, if we could hold Harper's Ferry for a very long time, well, we're going to be in a very good way. Here we go. Fire on forward. I'm still firing at Ward. I know it's not exactly the greatest thing to do to fire at units that are running, but they are in a world of shit right now, let's put it honestly, and that's good for us because that means they're not going to be a problem to us later. There we go, Stark. I'm going to have Kemper focus on forward. He's blocked right now by Ward, as a matter of fact. I'm hoping he can continue to fire. And let's see if our cavalry can come back to the fight. Unfortunately, Field took some pretty nasty hits, but now that the enemy is focused on other things, this might be the perfect time to bring him in to try and get a victory. Alright, I'm moving Lilly forward over here into the woods. Moving the rest of our boys into the woods as well. I think everybody's afraid of Armistead and his snipers. I mean, they have done an unbelievable job. 291 kills from a skirmisher unit is always a great thing. And Utasi is coming back to the fight. Although he still hasn't learned his lesson and decides to attack us from a very poor position. He's got some cover, but really don't think it's the greatest cover in the world. Alabac has been sent back. Isn't that a weird coincidence? Ward looks to be charging downhill. Now, a downhill charge is going to be very, very effective, but Ward and Ford are both getting blasted at this point. Really, the only thing keeping us back from this position is the Union artillery, which I'm hoping we can overcome. The Union still has a few things here. It looks like supplies surrendered. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and run with those supplies. It's been a while since we managed to capture some supplies from the enemy. We're going to go ahead and take those back to our lines. Of course, we still got Benjamin here providing some pretty good supplies to the rest of our men. And even General George Pickett has now taken the high ground to open fire on Trimble and keep him away from Harper's Ferry. or the heights here. All right, here we go, Kemper. Now, of course, this is something I don't like happening. Well, number one, the phone going off. But one thing I really don't like happening is when the enemy retreats behind our lines. That always causes some confusion. Kemper is going to keep firing, obviously, but I think right now we should focus on getting rid of that enemy artillery, even if it means putting Stark in a bit of a difficult position. After all, he did die during this battle. I think it's only right that his men, in his honor, try and live up to his legacy and put themselves on the line. So we're trying to set up just a basic defensive barrier here. I'm going to go ahead and bring these guys forward. It looks like we got some cavalry. The 1st Maryland chased our boys off before. But let's keep moving with this field unit and see if we can't hit Shermer. Major General Harvey Lilly is wounded. It happens to the best of us, especially with that flanking shot. Unfortunately, Stark is getting smashed there by the artillery, and I'm going straight for that arty, guys. You better bet yourself. So here we go, smashing into the 26th Indiana. We're going to take a pretty nasty hit from the 15th Indiana, so I'm actually going to go for them first. Sort of confuse the enemy just a little bit. Oh, it looks like they've decided to go for the 26th, already managing to rout them. If they could keep going, they could actually get 2 of the enemy artillery brigades to pull back. And if we win this battle, I think this is going to be one of our most successful victories. Just considering that the enemy had high ground, they had great territory, but look at all those Federals dead on the field. It's not like we haven't lost some men too, though. We've definitely taken our losses, and hopefully winning this battle makes up for those losses. And once again, got the enemy Ford there. Brigadier General Barksdale is wounded, and Ford is coming back. That's what I hate about having enemy units retreat behind our lines. We're going to try to fire downhill at them now that we hold the heights, and it looks like most of the Federal Army is doing the right thing and pulling back immediately. All right, Alabac, come on, son. Even Armistead, you can get a few more shots off. Boom! You love it. You just love it. You boys are doing great. Going to move Armistead back to get some supplies from Benjamin's wagon. Always good to have a quartermaster on hand. And there we go. Ford is already running. He's got no chance. Come on. If you're going to retreat, don't you dare come back to my fight. Come back to my battle and try to cause problems. And there we go, guys. I think we could stop right there. Beautiful setup. And we will finish with a victory at the weapons factory. Did pretty damn good. Let's see the statistics. The enemy lost 5,364 men. We lost 3,938. And, of course, 2 wounded major generals. Major and a brigadier general, not good. Especially William Barksdale. But Charles Stark was deceased. Just a colonel. Hey, you know what? You gotta lose a colonel every now and again. Am I right, boys? So there we go. We're going to go ahead and try and build up some of our troops. And look at that, 120 prisoners exchanged for 126 additional recruits. And I think you guys know what we need to do. We've got to go ahead and try to get more men. So I think one thing we could do, we apparently, oh my goodness, that is awesome. I had no idea you could do this, but apparently with the reputation we have to spend, we can actually go ahead and get more recruits. That's one thing I've wanted to happen for a while. I'm going to increase economy here, and I'm going to increase logistics. We really haven't put anything into logistics, although I think reduce the possibility of running out of ammo during the battle. Yeah, I might just focus on medicine and economy, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think I'm going to focus on medicine. Get back to the barracks. A lot of different men wounded. PGT Beauregard. Some of these guys are about to come back to the battle. And let's go ahead and hire some captains. Just some regular old captains. Leroy Daniel, a few of our majors. I think it's time to go ahead and put some majors in command of some of these forces. So let's go ahead. We're going to put James Fife in command of this brigade. I am going to try to get some veterans in that brigade. It's kind of expensive, but I think it's worth it. And now we're going to focus on just getting recruits, in this case, rookies. We don't want to spend too much money. Let's get Ransom. We'll get some veterans into Ransom's brigade because he doesn't have many men there. And Armistead, I'd love to get some more men. The issue there is the lack of the Whitworths, and they're expensive guns, so I'm not exactly looking forward to spending that much money on those weapons. All right, Carlin, doing great. And just a captain, but still managing to hold his own. And we can actually go ahead and add some guns here with some much-needed veterans. Let's go ahead and get Morin, get some veteran units here. And now we're going to stick to rookies. Here we go. Not bad. Dilger, Not bad. He's doing absolutely wonderful. Let's go ahead and get someone in charge here. We'll put Joseph Anderson, a brigadier general. And I'm going to try to get some veterans. 13 grand. It's expensive, but I think it's willing. It's a useful purchase, especially since we want to make sure that we have some veterans in this army. But, as you can see, we are definitely getting pretty low on men. We could even build another group here in the 1st Division or the 2nd Division. I think we're going to go ahead and go for the 2nd Division. Maybe get another cavalry brigade. They seem to work out really, really well. It's going to be expensive, and it's also going to lower our manpower. But I'm going to do that, and we're also going to get an infantry brigade led by Lester Pickham. Reboard farmers seem to be in pretty good supply, but so do Springfield M1855s, and I think you guys know which the better rifle is. Well, there we go, guys. That's about all we can do in terms of building up our actual corps for now. I'd love to actually take Jeb Stewart out and put him in command of the 2nd Corps, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do. But then again, well, Bernard Reed, what the hell are you? What the hell, Jeb Stewart? Oh, I see. He's in charge of the 3rd. Fine, fine. That's not a problem. Henry Root is not the greatest guy to be in charge of the 2nd Corps. But we have Jubilee Early as Brigadier General of the 1st Division. And Jubilee Early, as many of you know, is my favorite Confederate general. The mean old man, they called him. Now, guys, the next battle is going to be the Battle of Antietam. That's going to be a big one, so I might do what I do in a lot of my other videos and make a separate video for that, which will, of course, still be part of the campaign. But I hope you guys are enjoying it, and if you are, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment. Always make sure to see my comments on Twitter, share my videos on Twitter and on other social media. It's the only way we're going to make the channel grow, and I know you guys want that to happen. Thanks so much, guys. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome day.